There is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from loving the wrong people. It is not just tiredness, it is a soul-deep weariness. It is the feeling of pouring yourself into someone who only takes, never gives. It is the sensation of being drained, dismissed, and devalued, over and over again, until you barely recognize yourself. Maybe it was a partner who made you feel crazy for having needs. Maybe it was a friend who only called when they needed something. Maybe it was a family member who criticized everything you did, yet expected you to show up for them unconditionally. And the worst part? You stayed. You tried. You gave more. You thought, if I just love them harder, if I just explain myself better, if I just prove my worth, they will finally see me. But they never did. Because toxic people are not confused. They are not misunderstanding you. They know exactly what they are doing. And they are counting on you to keep accepting it. So, you kept shrinking. You kept silencing your own voice. You kept sacrificing your peace to keep the peace. And slowly, quietly, you disappeared. But today, that ends. Today, you take your power back. I am going to give you 4 non-negotiable strategies that will protect you from toxic people. These are not gentle suggestions. These are shields. These are boundaries. These are the walls you build not to keep love out, but to keep poison from seeping in. If you apply these 4 things starting today, you will never again be drained, manipulated, or diminished by someone who does not deserve access to your heart. The first thing, stop explaining yourself. The first and most powerful shield is this: you must stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Right now, when someone questions your choices, criticizes your decisions, or challenges your boundaries, you probably go into defense mode. You explain. You justify. You try to make them understand. Here is why I can't come to that event. Let me explain why I need space. You do not understand, what I meant was. And you think that if you just say it the right way, they will finally get it. They will finally respect you. But here is the truth: toxic people do not care about your explanation. They care about control. When you over-explain, you are handing them ammunition. You are giving them more information to twist, more words to use against you, more vulnerabilities to exploit. Every time you justify yourself, you are subconsciously saying, I need your approval to make this choice. And toxic people hear that as, you are in charge of me. But you are not a child. You are not on trial. You do not owe anyone a dissertation on why you are doing what you are doing. Here is the shift: when you make a decision that is right for you, state it once. Calmly. Clearly. And then stop talking. I will not be attending. I need some space right now. That does not work for me. If they push back, repeat yourself. Do not add new information. Do not expand. Do not defend. I understand you are disappointed, but my answer is still no. That is it. You are not being rude. You are being sovereign. When you stop explaining, you take back your power. You stop letting them control the narrative. You stop giving them the satisfaction of watching you scramble for their approval. And here is what happens next: one of 2 things. Either they will respect the boundary and adjust, or they will escalate, guilt-tripping, manipulating, or throwing a tantrum. And that reaction will tell you everything you need to know about whether this person deserves to stay in your life. The second thing: stop giving second chances to people who have not earned them. The second shield is about breaking a dangerous pattern. It is time to stop giving second chances to people who waste the first one. You are a forgiving person. You believe in growth. You believe in redemption. And because of this, you have let people hurt you. Repeatedly. They apologize. You forgive. They do it again. You forgive again. They promise to change. You believe them. They do not change. And the cycle repeats. And each time, you tell yourself, everyone deserves a second chance. But here is the question, do they deserve a 10th chance? A 20th? At what point does forgiveness become enabling? At what point does grace become self-abandonment? Toxic people are experts at apologizing without changing. They know the magic words. I am sorry. I will do better. And because you are kind, because you want to believe them, you open the door again. But an apology without change is manipulation. It is a reset button that allows them to keep hurting you without consequence. So, here is the new rule, a second chance must be earned, not given. If someone hurts you, they do not automatically get another opportunity to do it again. They must demonstrate, through consistent action over time, that they have actually changed. Words mean nothing. Watch their behavior. Do they respect your boundaries now? Do they show up differently? Do they take responsibility without blaming you? If the answer is no, then the door stays closed. And you do not need to feel guilty about it. You are not being unforgiving. You are being wise. You are honoring the lessons your pain has taught you. You are protecting future you from the suffering that past you endured. The third thing, master the art of the slow fade. The third shield is a strategy that most people are afraid to use because it feels mean. But it is not mean. It is self-preservation. Here it is, you must master the art of the slow fade. When someone is toxic, you do not owe them a dramatic confrontation. You do not owe them a breakup speech. You do not owe them closure. In fact, trying to have a conversation with a toxic person about why you are pulling away often backfires. They will gaslight you. They will twist your words. They will make you the villain for setting a boundary. So, instead of confronting, you fade. You stop initiating contact. You stop being available. You respond slower. You keep your answers short. You quietly, calmly, systematically reduce their access to you. This is not ghosting, ghosting is sudden and unexplained. The slow fade is a conscious, strategic withdrawal. You are not disappearing, you are deprioritizing. Here is how it works. 1. Stop sharing. Do not tell them about your life, your wins, your struggles. Information is power, and toxic people use your vulnerability against you. Keep your updates vague and surface level. 2. Reduce your availability. If they text, do not respond immediately. If they call, let it go to voicemail. If they invite you somewhere, politely decline more often than you accept. 3. Let the relationship die of natural causes. Do not feed it. Do not water it. Just stop tending to it. Most relationships require effort from both sides to survive. When you stop putting in effort, and they were only in it for what they could take, the relationship will quietly dissolve on its own. This approach protects you from drama. It protects your energy. And it allows you to exit without giving them a target to attack. Some people will notice. They will say, you have been distant. And you can respond calmly, I have just been focusing on other things. You do not owe them more than that. You are allowed to quietly choose yourself. The fourth thing, trust your body's warning system. The fourth and final shield is the most important, and it is the one that toxic people spend the most time trying to override. It is this, you must trust your body's warning system. Your body knows when someone is toxic long before your mind does. Have you ever been around someone and felt your stomach tighten? Your shoulders tense? Your energy drain? That is not anxiety. That is not you being too sensitive. That is your nervous system screaming, danger. Toxic people trigger your fight or flight response. Your body is trying to protect you. But because you have been taught to be polite, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to not judge, you override the signal. You tell yourself, I am just overthinking. You tell yourself, they are not that bad. You gaslight yourself into ignoring the alarm bells. But your body does not lie. Your body is not concerned with being polite. Your body is concerned with survival. So, here is the rule: if your body recoils, listen. If being around someone makes you feel heavy, drained, anxious, or small, even if you cannot articulate why, that is enough. You do not need a logical reason. You do not need to gather evidence. Your discomfort is the evidence. Toxic people are masters at making you doubt yourself. They say, you are too sensitive, or you are imagining things, or you are overreacting. But they are wrong. You are not overreacting. You are finally reacting. You are finally listening to the part of you that has been trying to protect you all along. So, when your gut says, this person is not safe, believe it. When your chest tightens in their presence, believe it. When you feel relief the moment they leave the room, believe it. Your body is not the problem. The person making your body react that way is the problem. And once you start trusting your body, you will notice something incredible: you will stop attracting toxic people. Because you will start catching the red flags early. You will stop giving people the benefit of the doubt when your gut is screaming, run. You will become impossible to manipulate because you will be anchored in your own truth. What happens when you use all four shields? Let's bring this together. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop giving unearned second chances, when you master the slow fade, and when you trust your body's warning system, something transformative happens. You stop being the target. You stop being the dumping ground. You stop being the person toxic people can manipulate, guilt, or drain. And you become unreachable. Not unreachable in a cold way. Not unreachable in a bitter way. But unreachable in a protected way. You build a fortress around your peace. And only the people who truly love you, who truly respect you, who truly add value to your life are given the keys to enter. The rest? They can knock. They can shout. They can try to guilt you. But the door stays closed. And you, inside your fortress, are finally at peace. The guilt, but am I being selfish? I know what you are thinking right now. You are thinking, if I do this, am I being selfish? Am I being cold? What if I hurt someone who actually needs me? Let me answer that with a question. When was the last time a toxic person worried about hurting you? When was the last time they lost sleep over whether they were being too demanding, too critical, too draining? They did not. Because toxic people do not operate from empathy. They operate from entitlement. You, on the other hand, are so empathetic that you are worried about protecting the feelings of people who have never protected yours. That is not selfishness. That is self-betrayal. Selfishness is taking without giving. You have been giving your entire life. You have poured yourself out for people who saw you as a resource, not a human being. So no, protecting yourself is not selfish. It is survival. And here is the truth: the people who accuse you of being selfish when you set a boundary are the same people who were benefiting from your lack of boundaries. Their opinion is not valid. Their guilt trips are not your responsibility. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotions. You are responsible for protecting your own peace. The future you are building. Imagine this: 6 months from now, you wake up and you feel light. You feel free. You look at your phone and there are no dread-inducing messages. You look at your calendar and there are no obligatory events with people who drain you. Your relationships are filled with people who reciprocate. People who respect your time. People who celebrate your wins. People who show up for you the way you have always shown up for them. You no longer feel guilty for saying no. You no longer feel anxious about being too much or not enough. You simply exist, peacefully, in a life you designed. This is not a fantasy. This is what happens when you implement these 4 shields. This is the life that is waiting for you on the other side of your boundaries. But you have to choose it. You have to protect it. You have to guard it fiercely. The action plan. Here is what I want you to do starting today. Step 1. Identify one person who consistently drains you. Do not judge yourself for it. Just acknowledge the truth. Who makes you feel heavy? Who leaves you feeling worse after every interaction? Step 2. Implement one shield with that person this week. Maybe you stop explaining yourself. Maybe you delay your responses. Maybe you trust the tightness in your chest and stop forcing the relationship. Pick one shield and practice it. Step 3. Notice the relief. Pay attention to how much lighter you feel when you stop giving your energy to someone who does not honor it. Let that relief be the confirmation you need to keep going. These shields are not temporary tools. They are permanent upgrades to the way you protect yourself. And the more you use them, the more natural they become. The final ritual. If this message has awakened something fierce inside you, if you felt a fire ignite that says, "I am done being drained," then I want you to make a declaration. Go to the comments below and write these words. I protect my peace. Let those words be your vow. Let them be the moment you stop abandoning yourself to save relationships that were killing you. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot love others well if you are running on fumes. And you cannot be the light for anyone else if you let toxic people extinguish your flame. You have spent your life being kind to people who were cruel to you. You have spent your life being loyal to people who were disloyal to you. You have spent your life giving chances to people who never deserved the first one. Today, that ends. Today, you choose you. Use these 4 shields. Watch the toxic people fade. And feel the peace return. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your strength. And thank you for finally choosing to protect the beautiful, powerful soul that you are. You deserve relationships that nourish you, not deplete you. Now go build that life. Until next time, guard your energy. Trust your gut. And never apologize for closing the door on people who only brought chaos. You are safe now. You are protected. And you are finally free.